Today we're visiting the famous Omni La Costa Resort, which is just 35 minutes from San Diego in sunny Carlsbad. And as you can probably tell, we're ready for some California golf.
Look at this guy, look what he's got here. Is there ever a time to break those out? Come on.
Now, there are two great golf courses here at the resort, and today we're excited to be taking on the famous North Course, which hosts the NCAA Championship and was recently renovated by world-famous architect Gil Hanse.
Go in. Oh!
We last played here 2 years ago before the big renovation, so we'll take you through some of the biggest changes Gil and his team made to the course. We'll also get a chance to meet some of the great people here and tour this amazing Southern California golf resort. So let's get into it.
The first hole is a good opening hole. It's not gonna beat you up too bad. At least that's what it appears from the tee. There was a fairway bunker added on the right-hand side to kind of pinch the drive a little bit. During NCAAs, I saw a lot of players from the men's side hitting irons and hybrids off the tee. From the women, I mean, I feel like they rarely miss a fairway, so a lot of drivers off the tee there. There was always a false front on that green, and that still is very prevalent. You can see it when you go out there, that it's a very popular spot. We get a lot of balls that hit on the front part of the green and then come back towards us.
The resort itself is absolutely stunning. The food, the restaurants, everything about it, fantastic. Again, second time we've been here, so it hasn't disappointed, and I'm sure it's one of those places that you just want to come back to. It's 35 minutes from the San Diego airport. So for a golf stay and play, I mean, you can't beat that. Obviously, there's a lot of great golf in the SoCal area over here, but if you're looking for that true stay and play, I mean, don't overlook this place.
The third hole actually is what really makes me think of Gil being a true artist, and these golf course architects are artists. What Gil's all about is an architect, and he's really trying to get into the player's head. So when he designed the third hole, the yardage stayed about where it is. It hadn't changed much. But what really changed is there were bunkers in front of the green that pre-renovation were right next to the green, like right next to it. And what he wanted to do is kind of get inside the player's head. When you stand on the tee, it looks like the bunkers are right next to the green, but in actuality there's about 30 yards between it. It's just to kind of give that player, right before they pull the trigger, just one little thought, just to kind of put, you know, a dot of doubt into their head.
So what we've learned is a lot of the motivation for this renovation that Gil Hanse did was really to, as a championship golf course, to really challenge some of the better players with the NCAA and things like that. And one thing that Gil does really well that we're learning as we're playing through this renovation is his kind of visual deception. So in a lot of spots, we saw that Gil used a lot of cross bunkering, usually closer towards the greens, but he used kind of some of the elevations and the undulations to kind of deceive the eye as to how far that is. So there was some that may look like they're right up there pressed green side, and they're actually not. There's some room. There's other spots where it's using the angles. It's a much further carry to carry some of that great cross bunkering than you may think. So it really requires you to understand and learn the golf course, and you got to think about the challenge that some of these NCAA golfers had, maybe coming here and having only maybe one practice round before going out there and playing in competitive play, and it really forces you to learn the course quickly. But even for just us casual golfers getting out there to get there and enjoy it, it's fun. It's fun to see some of the mind games that Gil was able to work into the design. But the cross bunkers, they don't only look fantastic, they'll also definitely challenge you in certain spots.
Seventh hole, I mean, the minute I stepped on the tee box, I said, oh, this hole. This hole's long, it's a par 4. There's bunkers that are not really reachable on the left side with driver, but on the right, probably those bunkers were put there for a reason. In 2022, driver right into the right side bunker. The rest of the hole for me was a disaster. So for this hole, the strategy was just power through the left side and crank it over those left side bunkers. And if you do, you got a speed slot that runs all the way down, and it'll leave you with about a 150-yard shot left.
Come on, be the number, be the number. Oh yeah.
Yes! All right, redemption. Talk about redemption. I went from 2022 blow up on the 7th hole to a par, and that felt really good.
One thing that adds to the allure of this course is its incredible history. You know, they've got the Wall of Champions, and as you look at that, you see names like Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods, and we all have watched the highlights of what Tiger did here in that playoff on the 15th hole. But there's also a gap there. You know, you see the last event that was there was 2012, you know, it was an LPGA event, and the course was kind of starting to get to there, it was kind of lost in the shuffle, and it just kind of fell out of the mainstream attention. And that's why I think that's the timing of this renovation was perfect. You know, they've locked in the NCAAs for a while, and Gil has really taken this golf course and made it like a contender again for big events. So I'm excited to hopefully see some big events come back through here and really try to expand that Wall of Champions.
All right, 9th hole here, sharp dog leg right. I mean, the play is landing zone about 220, leaves you about 130. It's a short hole. But the way the thing is, this hole is shaped, it's the way I hit my drive. So there's this like small tree right in the middle there to clear that to about 250. It's dead into the wind. If I hit any shot like I did on the hole 2 holes ago, it's gonna be perfect. So that's my strategy. Probably not the smart play, but for you guys, I'm gonna try it.
Didn't start it right enough, huh?
No, I just hit like the only draw of my life. So it went straight. It's probably fine.
I feel like the front 9 was very much a learning curve for me, just kind of getting used to this type of course, the layout, the turf, all that type of thing. But where I really was able to start to turn it on was on the back 9. I'm really happy with the shots that I hit there. And just being able to feel like I'm getting in a rhythm here, it really feels good.
Did take some of the break out of it, but it had more than I thought.
Oh, you burnt that edge.
Yeah.
Good par.
Thanks.
So you make the turn on the north course and you're back through the tunnel. And 10, again, these strategic bunkers, you know, hats off to the architects because, you know, our drives, we're finding these bunkers in the perfect spots. And Frank and I both hit great drives here, really booming drives. And we just couldn't clear that fairway bunker.
The diabolical genius here is that they cut it so tight and it actually rolls here. So even if you do get the fairway, a very good chance. It's just everything kind of funnels into this bunker that protects this corner.
Good shot there.
Oh.
Were you recording?
Yeah. You just pressed record when that happened.
Trip almost ended a little early. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's slinging. Come on, be good, baby. Oh yeah. Just a little bit of protection around that green, wouldn't you say?
Whew, I would say. Lesson learned, you gotta be on where you are, on the right side.
Yeah.
Oh, just
Oh, it
can't miss
started
left.
out so nice. Soft. It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
Be the right number. Be the number. Oh, the wind just took it. I thought that was gonna be so good.
Yep.
Oh! Whoa, thank you.
I did that on purpose.
Yeah, okay.
If you believe that, you know. Figured I'd hit the flag stick, let it just cradle it, drop it right next to the hole.
It's a great, you know, strategy.
Yep.
That was probably one of the luckiest things I ever seen. It was cool. It was cool to witness that.
Hole 11, yeah, another great change. So previously, you'd finish 10, you'd trek up the hill to go to 11. 11 was a elevated tee, downhill shot, water on the right, bunkers on the left-hand side. It was a tight tee shot. The green was right up against the water on the right. And so moved the tee box right behind 10 green, utilized this little sliver of land that we weren't using, which I love. Makes it more of a drivable risk-reward par 4. So it only plays, I believe it's 340 from all the way back. So it's not a long hole, plays into the wind. Added a bunker all down the left-hand side. The green got moved over to the left and was shrunk, and that's actually, it's got the most movement out of any of our greens out there. It's got a really nice little severe bump in the middle of it just to mess with your head a little bit on your second shot. But I really love the risk-reward factor. We definitely saw players hitting driver during NCAAs, and we also saw people laying back with a mid-iron and just giving themselves a small flip wedge in. Really small green. You've got water right behind it, so it definitely demands precision.
Such subtle break. It's more break than it looks, isn't it?
Well played par hole.
Haven't gotten that birdie yet. This par 3 is a beast. And just to give you an idea, especially the kids playing it from the tips in the NCAA Championship, we're playing 212 from our tee. Their tee, I had to fire it, it's so far away. Their tee is 75 yards away.
Wow.
212. So you're talking about
That's a
just
285 shot, huh?
pushing almost to 300 on this par 3. And the green is no walk in the park either. It's got some nuanced undulations to it, so it's long for us.
Yeah, it's long. Where that pin is too, back right.
That's it.
That's
Good
it.
luck playing it from the tips.
Yep. Wow, go in the hole. Go in, go in, go in. Holy. Oh my God.
That's what we call accidentally close.
Oh my God. My heart just stopped. My heart did literally just like stop a beat.
Oh my God.
I know it's short, but it was rolling up.
That's as good as I can hit a 4-iron.
Oh my
Jeez.
God.
Woo.
Oh, impressive. Dead.
The birdie still
straight.
eludes him. Yeah, it stayed straight.
How did that not move?
I don't know.
Now watch that.
I hit it right where,
Look at that.
yeah. You're a wild man going driver here.
Yeah. I'm going through the jungle.
I love how you just own it.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. I can't over here. I just can't.
Can't do it, it's not in
my
your blood.
Yeah.
No, it's all right.
We're gonna see, man. That's where the fairway is.
Yeah.
Just made it. Look at this. This is insane. If I were to do it again, I would do what you did, because that is nuts. But when you get away with things like that, you got to capitalize on it. So 137 up the hill with that wall behind it. Ah, it's a scary looking shot.
Course architect Gil Hanse. I've heard the name. We've seen his face in some golf documentaries or films. He has touched many golf courses around the world, renovating them, including in our own home state. So back in New Jersey last summer, we had the ability to play Baltusrol, Upper Essex County Country Club. I mean, the list goes on. And Gil is either currently in the process of renovating or he has recently. So it's pretty cool to kind of, I don't want to say we're following Gil Hanse around playing the courses that he's renovating, but it seems like him and his team are doing a lot of that around the world. And we're just fortunate enough to be able to play them.
Yeah, the fairways are very generous here. There's a lot of room to hit it, but it really, like you said, it's all about the angles. And obviously, you got to hit it close to the hole because the greens have a lot of movement, some really subtle breaks, and with it being a neutral site, especially during NCAAs, they got one practice round. That was it. So pretty amazing the scores that they shot with really only seeing it once or twice. So it's pretty cool.
Oh,
Oh, I thought I had it.
yep.
15 was always a short par 4. We added some tee boxes on the north side of the cart path, so there's tees right next to hole 2 as well. There were some trees removed to kind of open up the tee shot. The emphasis was put on the second shot and the green complex. That green is the most exposed of all of our greens, so during the tournament and really any time, it gets the most sun, it gets the most wind, so it plays very firm. The green was elevated. There was some really, really difficult bunkering placed there because it is a short hole. It plays 380 from all the way back. Most of the time it plays about 340. And you really have to think about that second shot, because if you're hitting like a 70-yard wedge where you can't maybe spin it as much as you want to, that green is really narrow from front to back. And there's also a pretty big hump right in the middle of the green that if you landed on that hump, it can spit it left into the water when you thought you hit a really good shot. And then just for a little added fun, behind the green is totally shaved down. So if you do go for it and you hit a great drive, but you maybe cooked it a little bit too much and it's got some overspin or a lot of roll on it, you could be dropping 3 when you thought you hit a great shot.
In. Oh man. The humanity.
That's as good as I can play this hole.
Yeah, that's a great
It's a
hole.
tough hole. All right, this is it, Tiger playoff hole, the famous Tiger playoff hole. He put it to about 1 inch. So that's what you got to match here.
What was that, the Buick? That was the Buick Classic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It was something like that, way back, early on in his career.
Be good, baby. Be good. Whoa, long.
That's what I was so nervous for.
I thought that was so good.
The wind is definitely with us.
Yeah. That's gonna be scary.
That is gonna be the scariest shot of my life coming back. All right. That looks good. That looks real good. Oh yeah. She's a beaut.
Couldn't match Tiger, but I gave it my best.
Great shot.
One thing Mike and I kept commentating to each other as we're playing through the course is just, wow, like what a match play course this is. You know, you've got your mix of short par fours that can be real risk reward, and you can just think how that will change just where you're at in the match. If you need to play catch up at some point, you can get more aggressive there and really kind of take that risk on for the hope of the reward. But even just coming down the stretch too, the final stretch of holes, there's so much that can happen in those last 3 holes with a challenging par 3, a tough par 4, and then a very difficult par 5 where there's a lot of ways that your ball can find a hazard there. And it can really make it that if you've got that tight match, this place is going to press on you, and you're definitely going to reward whoever plays, especially that final stretch, best.
That went dead straight. Oh my God. It looked like, wow.
The tee shot on 18 is definitely not for the faint of heart. You look at this thing, and especially if you get a kind of a top-down view of this fairway, you just see how narrow it is. And there's a few strategically placed, or when I say placed, I mean Gil did not remove them, the trees that are there that just require you to, even as you play the further back tees, not only do you have a smaller target, but it requires you to shape the shot in a certain way. But you've got a green that's just a very narrow runway, and not only left and right can you miss and end up in trouble, but also long. Depending on the tee box that you play, that water can come into play pretty quickly. And I ended up finding that the play was even to back off driver a bit because the further that got, it got narrower and narrower. So I think just taking a strategy and committing to it is pretty much the only key to success on this hole. And I, from the tee box, said I'm playing this a 3-shot hole and just gonna avoid a big number. Making a par on 18, I feel like is a win. It's all right. It's on the green.
Okay, cool.
Can't get mad.
I see it, yep.
One last birdie chance.
This is where you hit it.
Yeah, if I imagine making a bomb after all those short birdie putts I missed.
That's golf, right?
Forget it. I'll take any though. I'll take any length.
One time.
Oh,
Dude, I thought you had it.
I thought so too. Gotta give it one last look, huh?
That was a good try.
One last look.
Great par to walk off though.
Thanks.
So if you do end up playing here, try to play it either early morning or that evening time when it gets a little cooler and the sun is setting right around the 17th, 18th hole. It's a pretty remarkable walk-off when you're all done on 18.
That was fun.
That was good, dude.
Omni La Costa.
Yeah, man. That was awesome.
Let's go. What a course.